The cast of Riverdale is no stranger to cyberbullying and the pressures that come with being a celebrity. It's one thing growing up under the spotlight of Hollywood. It's another story being catapulted into fame when you're already in your late teens and have no idea how to handle the attention.
The first time I was recognized in public was crazy because it kind of came out of nowhere. I was at the Grove, which is one of my favorite places in LA, and this group of young girls started screaming Madeline Patch, and I was like, this can't be me. Like, there's gotta be another Madeline Patch here or something.
These actors have had to battle with dark episodes of depression, body dysmorphia, and severe anxiety, but they haven't shied away from opening up about their demons. So how do these young stars tackle the moments they felt most hopeless amongst all the chaos of fame? You're watching Rumour Juice. Before we get into it all, make sure to subscribe to our channel and give that notification bell a ring-a-ding-ding so you can be the first to know when we upload new juicy content. Lili Reinhart. I've always been aware of depression, anxiety, and body dysmorphia because it's something I've lived with for a while. Out of all the cast members of Riverdale, Lili is probably the most outspoken about mental health. The 24-year-old actress often takes to Instagram to speak about her battles with depression and anxiety that she's been fighting since she was as young as 16. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the actress admitted it was the first time in 4 years that she was forced to slow down and focus on herself.
It's important to let yourself feel pain and feel your emotions.
There's no doubt that her role as Betty Cooper shot her to stardom, and although the star status comes with its many perks, it's not always sunshine and daisies. Lili's busy schedule, along with her life and relationship with ex-boyfriend Cole Sprouse being gazed at through the microscope of paparazzi, led to her feeling extremely overwhelmed. She admitted that at one point, her depression had gotten so out of control that she even felt like she was dying and had thought that there was no light at the end of the tunnel. "I couldn't see the light. I was like, I feel like I'm dying. It was rough, and there's no other way through it than just through it." Right in the middle of the pandemic, Lili and Cole, who had started dating in 2017, broke up. This left fans heartsore, but Reinhart was completely heartbroken. In the months following the couple's split, the actress described it as the most emotional time she'd ever experienced because her body was withdrawing from love and having to adjust to another type of loneliness. She's always been open with her fans about her mental health struggles. She felt it was important to reassure those who are fighting the same battles that they're not alone in their struggle with anxiety and depression. It just happens, and it's just inside of you, and that's not something you should be ashamed of. It's justified because it's happening. The actress has found solace in her writing, journaling for herself, and writing bits of poetry to help her clear any negative thoughts.
I hope, I turned to poetry when I was experiencing pretty deep depression when I was 16. And it was always just something I used as a form of therapy and just a way of getting my thoughts out on paper.
She also escapes to the beach, goes on hikes, and spends time around nature to ground herself. Lili has recently released her first poetry book, Swimming Lessons. The book explores the euphoric beginnings of young love, battling anxiety and depression in the face of fame, and the inevitable heartbreak that stems from passion.
I think it made me value my alone time and how important it is to stay grounded and stay close to the people who you knew before you were famous or before you entered that kind of sphere of a spotlight. And even now, I think it's incredibly important for me to remind myself.
Camila Mendes. Camila Mendes wasn't known in the entertainment industry when she started out on the show Riverdale, and she still finds it super strange to deal with being recognized for her role as Veronica Lodge. She admits that she's had to take her newfound fame day by day, and it can still be overwhelming to be followed by crowds of fans. But one thing her platform quickly gave her was an influential space to talk about important health issues, like her struggle with bulimia.
So I just ordered a burger, and I ordered it with fries, and I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat the living crap out of it.
I allowed my obsession with being thin to consume me, and I refused to make room in my mind for any other concerns. All the interests that used to occupy my mind had been eaten away by my desire to be thin, and it made me miserable. Now, she's learned how to fight off these dark thoughts, and she knows what she needs to do to avoid any triggers that may lead to a downward spiral. Lately, the actress has been getting into meditation, spending 10 minutes with her thoughts as soon as she wakes up in the morning. She also says that knowing when to say no is extremely helpful in avoiding situations that will take a toll on her health. Knowing when you just need to go home and be alone is important. Now, more than ever, I value my alone time because in an industry like this that's very chaotic, a lot of people need things from you. Madeline Patch.
Your name may be Honey, but I will always be the queen bee. You have no power over me.
Madelaine has admitted that her introduction into fame, though it has been overwhelming at times, has also been extremely humbling. She thought that it was going to be a lot crazier than it is, and all her fans have been really sweet and down-to-earth people that just want to take a picture with her. She explained that she feels very grateful to have fans who love her for doing what she's most passionate about, and she couldn't have asked for anything better. The actress opened up about her struggles with her body image that was brought on as a result of being picked on by bullies when she was younger, as well as some cyberbullies that targeted her when Riverdale was aired. I think a lot of young girls go through that, but don't quite understand it. And when Riverdale first came out, there'd be these crazy people, fans who called me a whale. And to be honest, there were times when I would question myself, like, why do people hate me? The Riverdale star makes sure to be open and honest with her fans about her struggles with her body image, but she also leans on her close friends for support. She explains how she often checks in with her good friend and fellow cast member Camila, and they discuss things like self-image and mental health, making sure that they're both doing everything that they can to take care of themselves. Madelaine says that dancing has always been her safe haven, and she's always been a dancer at heart. So whenever she has any spare time, or she needs an emotional release, she heads for the nearest dance studio and gets everything out of her system. She's also found comfort in reading and enjoying her own space after things around her get a little crazy. Cole Sprouse. Having been a successful child actor since he was a toddler, Cole didn't face adjusting to instant fame the way many of his other Riverdale castmates did. But that doesn't mean it was any easier for him to come to terms with the overwhelming attention he received from the show. After filming The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, Cole took a very much needed break from acting where he could go to college and just be a normal teenager away from the spotlight. Now that he's back in front of the camera, he admits that this time around, his fame is completely different. And because of social media, now everyone seems to know everything about everyone all the time.
You talk a lot about preserving your mental health. What are some non-negotiable things that you do to help make that happen for yourself?
Oh, I stay off the internet.
I think we should all stay off of the internet.
I think so.
As a way to deal with the newfound pressures of being a TV heartthrob, Cole says that he's discovered a new passion for photography that may even be bigger than the one he has for acting. I was sad and in a dark place, and I turned to a hobby to sort of take me out of that. I used it as an outlet, as a way to create and feel better, and it took off. If people can end up finding joy with that work, with the same thing that makes you feel at peace, keep doing it. He's also a firm believer that one of the best things that anyone could do for their mental health is to make sure they're also taking care of their physical health. Getting lots of sleep and exercising is crucial for a healthy state of mind. Ashleigh Murray. Everyone gets a little low sometimes, even when they're not dealing with a full-on mental illness. Actress Ashleigh Murray has found that using her gifts, talents, and hobbies to the best of her ability can help get her out of a dark place, and she hopes her advice will help her fans through their difficult times too. I sing to myself. I love going to karaoke with friends if I'm having a really tough time. I also really love to cook. That's kind of how I keep myself grounded. She encourages anyone who might be feeling overwhelmed or battling with anxiety or depression to find something that they're good at and lean on those around them to talk about what they're feeling.
Self-care to me is putting myself first in every aspect. As selfish as that may sound, you just gonna have to do it.
KJ Apa. KJ has admitted that he doesn't really like talking about the fame that has come hand in hand with his role of Archie Andrews. He says that life under the harsh light of Hollywood shouldn't change who you are or your character unless you allow it to. He credits his strength and sanity throughout his new introduction to fame to his belief as a Christian and his relationship to God. He remains very spiritual and makes sure to always prioritize his relationship with his family and friends. Mental health is always a touchy subject for many people, and it's often avoided in conversation because people don't want to admit that they're going through a rough time. We have to say that we are so proud of the Riverdale cast for starting so many conversations about mental health and self-care. It's always important to take care of yourself, and there is no shame in experiencing any form of depression or anxiety. Remember that you are never alone, and if these celebs can talk about it and get the help that they need, so can you.